Roberts and Luke Trainer. And good morning to all of you, and congratulations to our seniors who are graduating tomorrow. I want to welcome family, friends, staff, and faculty to our annual Baccalaureate service. This is an interfaith worship service where we celebrate our students. Make space to hear from some of our seniors about how they've grown during their time at Guilford, and then we bless them on their way. I'm really excited about this morning's service and all these lovely humans who have prepared to share with us this morning. I invite you to, if you haven't already read their bios on the back, we've got lots of bios for you to read, so check that out. I've had the privilege of getting to know many of our students who are up here on the stage over the years. And I can say with a deep sense of gratitude that it has been a gift getting to know them and really love working with them. They are the ones, and those of you who are in the audience are the ones who make Guilford so special. So thank you for choosing Guilford all those years back and for hanging in there with us. We're going to miss you. And I like to tell my students, when you see me in my special vest, that you know it's an official college ceremony. I'm probably going to talk a little bit about the wisdom of the Quaker tradition and probably going to lead us in a moment of silence. So today is no different. Quaker spirituality is about growth and transformation. It's not about holding a specific creed or set of beliefs and then being done with growth. We spend a lot of time reflecting on how we live out our values in the world. For those of us who are Quakers, it is a way of life. It doesn't mean we always get it right, and it doesn't mean we don't have to go back and repair things from time to time. But we trust that even in that act, that's part of the healthy process of growth. So what I want to leave with you all this morning, make space, hopefully daily, to listen deeply to yourself and to the light within. There is so much in the world around us that wishes to distract us and divide us and even make us afraid to hear what we might hear in the quiet. Hopefully at Guilford you've learned that in the quiet and stillness that wisdom arises. Make space in your life for the practice of silence, listening prayer, meditation, long walks in natural spaces, and deep reflection where you can become accustomed to the sound of that still small voice within. That can lead you when things are uncertain, that can help you know what you want and what you need. And as you listen, my hope is that you will come to trust that wisdom of the inward light to guide you on the path to growth for the rest of your life. So let's try. Will you join me in a few moments of silence that we love so much? Let's use it to fully enter into this worshipful space this morning and to consider the ways that we have been changed together. Thank you, friends.
Hi, friends. I'm the Jewish pick for this panel, but I don't think I made my speech Jewish enough. So, shalom, friends. My name is Ella Barton Beagleson, and I am so honored to be sharing this moment with all of you. My friend and Professor Wes asked me to speak about how I've grown in my time at Guilford. And the biggest growth I can think of is my ability to listen to my inner voice. I was so scared of failure at the beginning of my college career because I didn't truly trust myself. I didn't trust myself enough to take risks because I didn't trust myself to be okay if things didn't turn out how I expected. And slowly but surely, I got comfortable with the uncomfortable, and I eventually took huge risks, then started to surprise myself with how capable I am of handling adversity. I associate this with my time studying abroad in Kyoto, Japan, and in Ashland, Oregon, and during this time, I had the opportunity to stretch and challenge myself and build evidence that I can indeed do hard things. And I'm so grateful for these opportunities because they gave me an appetite for more. And there certainly will be more stretching and challenges to come. At the same time that I was thinking about how to answer this question of how I've grown, I was reading the last book of my college career. It was Miracle Motors, a pert near true story by Peggy Sanger Morrison for Wes's Quakerism class, incidentally. And this was the perfect book to complete my time here. In Miracle Motors, Peggy, a bisexual Quaker minister, shares the spiritual wisdom she gained through her numerous solo motorcycle adventures. And I'd like to pass on a few sentiments from this book to you all. These passages have made me feel more at ease in this time of uncertainty and feel a little bit more okay with not having everything figured out. There will be a lot of reading now. Well, ride safe, she said, starting an unbroken chain of stranger blessings. Not once in the next 14 days did anyone on the road ever say anything negative to me about the ride, which is unusual as people often seem to feel perfectly comfortable telling me that I'm crazy and that I should go home. For the duration, gas station attendants clapped me on the back and said, "You go get 'em." Waitresses brought me free dessert and said, "Don't you worry about a thing, sweetie. You're being taken care of." And truck drivers said, "The road's going to be very good to you. Keep going." I was blessed mile by mile. I'm pretty sure that there will be some rack and ruin in the process, and some things need to be broken open. Some major paradigms need to be subverted. We have to be willing to get off the freeway and investigate the byways and lanes. Some of them will dead end. We have to be willing to turn around. We will have to be open to the voices of strangers, to our creeds and codes. We won't make it without a sense of humor and the ability to see beauty in the odd roadside attraction. We will need to stop for pie and conversation. And eventually, I found that the pleasant fenced garden of my old life had a gate at the back, and when I walked through that gate, I found a whole wild countryside of possibilities waiting for me. So I wish you all a peaceful walk through this garden of possibilities and endless courage to listen to the little voice telling you which one is truly calling to you. Thank you for listening, and Yasher Koach, grads.
Thank you all for being here. I'm not the Jewish kid. I'm the Christian kid, so I guess they brought me in too. So, yeah. I recall a distant memory from middle school when I was deep in a cavern with my peers and my dad, by chance. At one point, our guide turned off the light, the only light, and everything went dark. But I wasn't afraid. I trusted that he would turn it back on. But what if he didn't? I arrived at Guilford in 2022 with everything going my way. I had a plan: graduate early, move home, save money, and take on the world. And for a while, it worked. Sophomore year, I stayed focused on that plan. Around that time, I became friends with someone who constantly talked to me about Jesus. I didn't take it seriously. I went to a few Bible studies, but I was disengaged, more concerned with how I looked than what I believed. And then suddenly, the lights went out. What once felt steady became uncertain. I felt alone, anxious, and lost. The plan I trusted collapsed, and I didn't know how to move forward. One night, I sat in my room with the lights off, staring at the ceiling, and I remember hearing something. 4-9. I brushed it off until I heard it again. 4-9. Eventually, I remembered my friend had told me to read the book of James. So I opened my Bible and landed on James chapter 4, verse 9, which reads, "Be miserable and mourn and weep. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will exalt you." I'd been telling myself, just be happy, just be happy. But God showed me I didn't need to just be happy, and I didn't need to force happiness. I needed to humble myself. That was the moment I realized where the light was. Still, I resisted. For months, I avoided what I knew was true, but I couldn't ignore it. Everywhere I turned, I was confronted with the same message. On Valentine's Day, 2024, that same friend sat with me outside Milner and told me plainly, "You need to pursue Christ." And that weekend at a conference in Pittsburgh, I finally did what I'd been long delaying. I humbled myself before the Lord, and I gave him my life. The light came back on. I had known about Jesus before, but now I knew him. Following Jesus has not been easy. It's been difficult and really uncomfortable at times. But it has been the most rewarding decision I've ever made. He's changed my heart, redirected my life, and shown me a hope I didn't know existed. He's given me so many things, like a wonderful fiance who I get to marry in 15 days, a degree from Guilford College that I did not get early, but I still got, and an awesome community to be a part of here at Guilford, which has been such a blessing. When I was lost, God didn't force the light on. He led me to it and waited for me to choose. Maybe you're in a place right now where things feel uncertain. Maybe you're trying to hold everything together on your own. Fellow graduates and everyone here, my hope is very simple, that you would know that that light is out there for you. May you stumble upon it at the time when you need it most. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's a true honor to be here before you all today. And so as I began thinking about what I wanted to share today, I realized that no matter where we come from, each of us carries a story that has shaped who we are. And for me, understanding my story meant reflecting on where it all began. During my time here at Guilford, I wrote a piece exactly about that. And today I'd like to share it with you all. I am from Abuelito y Abuelita and Mami y Papi. I'm from rice, beans, and sour cream meals. I'm from where the celestial miracle of lluvia de peces happens. I'm from early mornings with Despierta America. I'm from Vicks Vapor Rub cures it all. I am from translating that eventually became a skill and then a responsibility. And I am from Solo con Dios lo puedes todo, hija. Only with God can you do it all, daughter. That is where I am from. And perhaps where you may be, and perhaps where I'm from may be very different from you, but I believe there are small moments from growing up that we may have in common. So maybe for you it looked like drawing the sun in the corner of your papers, or reading the diary of a wimpy kid, or playing Fireboy and Water Girl on cool math games, or watching Bill Nye the Science Guy in class, or doing those sit and reach tests in PE. And along the way, those simple moments turned into late night studying, job applications, big life decisions, and eventually to this very moment. And while some of those moments may feel familiar, the paths we took to get here were uniquely our own. Perhaps for some of you, college looked like living with your roommates, late night trips with friends, early morning practices, game days, or long hours dedicated to something you were passionate about. For others, myself included, it looked a little different. Maybe it looked like commuting to campus every morning, spending those 2-hour gaps between classes talking with friends, studying in the library, or deciding it just wasn't worth driving all the way back home after class, just to come back an hour later for the next one. Our experiences may have looked different day to day, but they all led us to the same place, this moment of success we're celebrating together. And if there's one thing that has made this journey meaningful, it's the kind of place Guilford is and has been for all of us. Because Guilford isn't just a college we attended. It's a community we became part of and will always be connected to. It's the kind of place where professors know your name, where conversations don't end when class is over, and where learning goes beyond what's written in the syllabus. It's where we didn't just sit in classrooms together, we built relationships, we challenged each other's perspectives, and we grew alongside one another. I find there's something truly special about that, because at Guilford, we didn't just learn in community, we learned how to create it. And maybe that's what it means to be uniquely Guilford, not just being part of a community, but learning how to build one wherever we go next. And if there's one thing our time here has taught us, it's this. Success isn't easy, but we've proven it's possible. We've faced challenges, some personal, some academic, and some that felt bigger than ourselves. For example, last year, we survived that one day without TikTok. Y'all, I don't even have TikTok, and I'll admit even I was a little stressed about it getting banned. But jokes aside, resilience isn't just something we talk about. It's something we've lived. Guilford College itself is proof of this. This past year, our college faced real uncertainty. There are moments where the future of this place we call home didn't feel guaranteed. But thanks to the leadership of President Jean Bordowich and her team, along with donors, alumni, faculty, staff, and just a community that refused to give up, Guilford College is still here, and so are we. This reminds us of something very important. Challenges don't mean the end of the story. They give us the opportunity to keep going, to choose to keep fighting. And through all of that, there's something else I've come to realize. We live in a world that moves fast, same-day delivery, fast food, constant notifications. Everything around us is designed to rush us forward. And somewhere along the way, we forget to just be here, to sit in the moment, to appreciate where we are, even in the difficult times, to recognize that this, right now, is something we once prayed for. Because there was a time when graduating felt far away, and now, here we are. And perhaps that's why this anonymous quote resonates so deeply. If a bird lands on a branch, does the bird trust the branch, or does it trust its wings? The truth is, the bird doesn't rely on the branch, it trusts its wings. And perhaps in life, the branch represents the situations we find ourselves in, the uncertain moments, the challenges, the changes. But our wings don't just represent our own strength. They're built from the people who lifted us up along the way. Our families, our friends, our professors, our community. And so today, we don't just stand here because of what we've done, we stand because of who helped us get here. Therefore, we all carry our own stories and the people who made this moment possible. So wherever life takes us next, may we never forget where we come from, and may we learn to truly live in the moments that shaped us. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Hi, everyone. My name is Destiny.
Hi, I'm Liz Nicholson.
And I'm Aurelie Patterson.
And we're going to sing a couple of songs for you all. The first song we will sing for you, and the second song we will sing with you. We will invite you to sing with us as we understand singing as a really important part of being human and being in community together. So this first song is called The Net of Remembrance by Ale Blakely.
next song we will sing is called Peace, Salam, Shalom. It translates peace in English, Arabic, and Hebrew, and it is written by Emma's Revolution, and we'll be singing it with you guys.
Yes, but don't worry because I'm going to teach you the words. So I'm going to teach you it line by line, and then you can repeat it after me. So the first line is, Peace, Salam, Shalom. 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 Yes, and join when you feel led to.
Thank you, Ray, Liz, and Destiny. That was beautiful. There is so much beauty in this place. After that beautiful music, I invite you to close your eyes and be present in this moment. Be proud of yourself, the challenges you have overcome, the conflicts you have endured, the community that you have created, the connections you have nurtured, the lessons you have learned, the professors that have impacted you. It took me a while to write this speech, and I could not figure out exactly why until I finally sat down. Writing this meant that the fact that I was leaving Guilford and graduating was real. I can honestly say that moving to North Carolina halfway across the country changed my life for the better. Making Guilford my home was the best decision I have ever made. I hope that this place has been as incredible to you as it has been for me. Although it may be hard for some to believe, I have in fact only been here for 4 years. I was not a junior like people assumed when I was a freshman. I was not supposed to graduate last year. I made the leap and embraced Guilford for all that it had to offer. I spent my 4 years of high school doing a bunch of nothing. I was not involved in any clubs and rarely went to school events outside of class. But when I came here, something changed. The opportunities and the people around me unlocked a new version of Beck. I joined as many clubs as I could, got involved in student leadership, joined 3 sports I had never done before, and became the DJ and later general manager at our radio station, WQFS. I dove headfirst into life at Guilford and did not look back. This place is truly what you make of it, and my hope is that you all leave feeling that you did just that. The world is your oyster, and the opportunities of Guilford are just the beginning. We are leaving home, but the beauty of a home is that we can take it with us. It is not just a physical place, but the memories that make it so. Remember the friends, peers, professors, and staff, the walks in the woods, the afternoons on the quad, impactful collaboration in and out of the classroom, the moments in the locker room and out on the field. Remember and carry the uniqueness of Guilford with you through this next chapter of your lives. While preparing this speech, I stumbled upon a Thomas L. Wood quote that I feel reflects this impactful time in our lives well. "The winter tree resembles me, whose sap lies in its root. The spring draws near. As it, so I shall bud, I hope, and shoot." We are in the spring of our lives. No matter how much rain you may endure, your roots are strong. You will shoot into something beautiful, who you are meant to be. Guilford has prepared you for this moment, so be proud. This is your time. Regardless of how long you have been at Guilford or what it has taken for you to get here, I want to congratulate you because you did it, and that means a great deal. Thank you.
Hello, family and friends. I have thought long and hard about what I would say today. I thought about all the moments that led me here and all the people along the way. But no matter what I thought of, the common theme between them was gratitude. I'm grateful for all the people that Guilford has put into my life, from professors to the amazing people that I have the privilege of calling friends. I'm grateful to my family for always supporting me, but most of all, I'm grateful to God for never abandoning me and standing with me in times where I didn't know if I was ever going to see the way out. I grew up in the church, and I've always known God, but this year my relationship with him deepened. This year, I found out that my best friend, my mom, was diagnosed with a chronic illness. For anyone that knows me, they know that my mom is my whole world. She raised me on her own, and in that time showed me unconditional, true love. She has always been my rock. So having to navigate her illness alone was devastating because I couldn't fix it. I couldn't help the person who has given me everything, and that killed me. Throughout this year, I suffered in silence because talking about it in that moment would make it too real. I had times where all I could do was cry in my room to myself, wondering why all this was happening. I vividly remember one night I had broken down when I called her on the phone, and she sounded tired and weak. Nothing like I was used to when it came to her. I had gotten off the phone, and I remember begging and pleading for a sign that it would be okay, that I could eventually be okay. Much later after that day, I came across a song when I was listening to music, and the song was "Thy Will." The song spoke about being hurt and confused, but trusting in God and his will because he has good intentions. It encapsulated everything that I felt in that moment, and for the first time in months, I didn't feel so alone. That song became my comfort and helped me to push through and stand before you today. Listening to that song, I knew he was with me, and he cared for me just as all the people around me have. I will always be thankful for that moment. Guilford has forever changed my life. It taught me to be grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that's what makes the journey complete. The road to get here was long and had many bumps and curves, but I wouldn't trade it for the world because as I stand here today in front of all of you, I know that it was worth it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I grew up at church, so I do know how to public speak. I've been doing that since I was 4. And I know you're supposed to make eye contact, but if I look at you too long, I'll cry. And if I don't stick to the script, we'll be here till 3, okay? All right. Class of 2026, I have a confession. You all may be my favorite class ever. Please don't tell 2018. Don't say it too loud, because it used to be them. Since you're my favorites, I'll share one of the best pieces of advice I received as an incoming college student. College is not 4 years, it's really just 8 semesters. Maybe a few more, maybe a few less, depending on life, but still 8 chapters. And you all are the first class whose journey I've been able to witness from the beginning to end without interruptions or pauses like COVID or moving jobs along the way. Your 8 or so semesters are up, and now you're off. Thank you for taking a chance on yourselves, for believing in your path, for sticking with the college through one of its toughest times, and for showing up for one another along the way. You've done more for me and all of us in Cape than you probably realize. We love you, and we're truly going to miss you all. Now, let me tell you a quick story. In the fall of 2016, I showed up here as a second-year graduate student, a new mom, and someone grieving a tremendous loss in my family. I had one job: log 900 hours, build my resume, make a few connections, and move on. My to-do list here did not include meeting my colleagues who would become family, navigating the highs and lows of adulthood, meeting my husband, surviving COVID, losing and gaining relationships, having 2 more children, or honestly just really growing up here. Guilford was supposed to be a quick stop, but somehow it became a second home. This random, historical, beautiful, sometimes infuriating, special, unique unicorn of a place accepted me as a friend, and I'll always be grateful for that. And now this place is a part of you too. So take a moment and think, what did you want from here? What did you get from here? What did you give here? And how will you stay connected after you cross that stage tomorrow? Believe it or not, there was a time when I used to just park, go to my office, meet a few students, and leave. Then one day, my mentor, Megan Walters, took me on a lap around campus to meet literally everyone we could find. And just like that, I had people to say hello to, eat lunch with, giggle with when meetings got awkward. Now, I have to go on a covert operation just to walk to Rachel's without being stopped 15 times. So whenever you have the opportunity, class of 2016, pour into others and stay around people who pour into you. Say hello, meet the new person, introduce people to each other. You never know where those connections may lead and what your place in someone else's life may become. I didn't know what God had planned for me when I was sitting in my grandmother's living room, Googling higher ed internships for career counseling. All I knew was there a box that I needed to check, so I showed up to do it. Please stand firm in your goals and aspirations, but stay flexible and adjust when life requires it. Make plans, absolutely, but hold them loosely and then execute. Because we can think and plan all day long, but eventually you just have to try. You have to move. You never know what that small or meaningless checkbox moment might turn into. Keep your eyes open, keep your heart open. Put your full liberal arts education to work. Wherever you go, arrive alert and alive enough to notice where you are, where you see potential, who you can connect with, and who or what you may need distance from. Never stop learning, never stop reflecting, and never be afraid to begin again and again and again. Have faith that your journey is not only for you, but bigger than you. Maybe what you struggled through will help someone else find their way. Maybe what you've been blessed with will remind someone else that change is still possible and there's better on the other side. Either way, you matter in ways that you can't always see. As I wrap up, I want to leave you with 3 final thoughts. First, you've already come this far by faith, so keep going. There's a Baptist hymn that says, we'll understand it better by and by. By and by might mean tomorrow, or maybe in 40 years. But in the meantime, stick around long enough to find out. The voice in your head, whether it's yours or someone else's, may try to convince you that you're not good enough or even undeserving of good things. Please let my voice today be louder. You are loved, you are enough, and you have everything you need. I'm not going to cry. Hold on. Janelle told me I was, and I told her I was not. Okay. My dad used to always say, sometimes you're up. I should have just skipped this part. Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. But when you're up, appreciate it. Help someone else find their way up and be grateful. When you're down, hustle, rest, and learn as much as you can to find your way back up. Okay, Janelle, you win. Goodness gracious. Woo! Find the balance and meaning in both the highs and lows. And third, remember that the culture of any workplace, community, or relationship is shaped by what is rewarded and what is allowed. Get to know yourself. Find out what you need and where you want to go. What does respect look like to you? Do they value you as a human being or just a machine? Do they see you as a name on a line and the work that you provide? Or do they see you as a human who has to go fill up their gas tank? What and who do you value and why? When you walk into interviews, you interview them right back. Do not sit around and wait to be chosen. You go out and choose. Look around, class of 2026. You already made 8-year-old you so proud. Now keep going so 90-year-old you has some incredible stories to tell. The measure of your life will not only be your accomplishments or what's on your resume. Those things absolutely matter. But your life will also be a measure of how you spent your time, how you made people feel, who you defended, and what values you stood on. Move with love, move with intention, go forward with confidence, and constantly ask yourself, what will I reward in my life and what will I allow? Thank you.
Dang it, Amber, I wasn't going to cry until halfway through my talk. Good morning. Second page. Let's start at the first. Good morning again. I'm not going to lie. When I got the message from Wes and Liz a few weeks ago that I'd been asked to speak at Baccalaureate, my first thought was, well, not coherent. Let's just say panic. And then I read that they needed a copy of my remarks by Tuesday, May 5th. And just like so many of you, I had to ask for an extension on that assignment. Thanks. This is a time of transition, and transitions are challenging. For you, you're about to transition to your life post-Guilford, and we'll watch you walk across that stage tomorrow with many emotions: pride, relief, and excitement for the amazing things you're going to do once you walk off that stage. Hey, and if you're feeling like you have no idea what those amazing things are going to be yet, or if they turn out to be different from what you'd planned, it's going to be okay. As I said, transitions are hard. Be open to the opportunities that come to you with transitions like this one, and be ready for things not going the way you planned. In August 1992, just after dinosaurs roamed the earth, things were not going the way I'd planned. I was newly divorced and about to start my first teaching job at Guilford College. To be fair, though, I'd hardly planned. In some ways, I just drifted into the places I was expected to go. In other ways, I was learning to be open to opportunities. In high school, I got the general impression from my family that I should go to college because that's what you were supposed to do after high school. I was the first in my immediate family to graduate. My dad barely finished high school, and my mom quit college to marry my dad. And I think also to avoid taking organic chemistry, which is ironic. To my mother's confusion, I liked chemistry a lot, and I majored in it in college. Despite folks, including my college advisor my freshman year, telling me I couldn't. Not to mention that run-in with Calculus 1 during my first year that really tried to tell me I couldn't. But I changed my approach to my classes. Showing up regularly was a good first step. And I survived and made it through not only chemistry, but Calc 1, 2, and 3. I think NC State overdid it a little on the math requirement. Anyways, I went to graduate school to get my PhD, not because that's what I had always planned to do, but because one of my professors I was doing research with asked me my junior year, "Have you thought about going to graduate school?" Y'all, I had not. I barely even knew what graduate school was, but with the support of my professors, thanks Susie, I applied, was accepted, and ended up in Texas, partly because I'd never really left North Carolina and wanted to know what it was like out there. I survived that first semester, but it was a struggle. When the time came to choose my graduate advisor, I went to meet with the professor who would eventually become my PhD thesis advisor and asked him very nervously to join his lab. He said, "Anne, you don't sound very sure about this." And I answered, "Well, I'm just not sure if I want to do this for the rest of my life." He looked at me and said, "Anne, you don't have to do anything for the rest of your life." And I thought, and though I didn't quite realize it at the time, it's some of the best advice I've ever gotten. Okay, back to August 1992. I'd finished my PhD 3 years earlier, thanks Marty, although I didn't call him anything but Dr. Newcomb until at least my 4th year at grad school. And I'd been in a postdoctoral research position at the University of Oregon, and I'd also gotten married to a guy I met in grad school, which is how I ended up in Oregon, and then got very much not married less than a year later. That's another story, and you'll have to buy me a glass of wine if you want to hear it. I hadn't planned to not be married, and I had to find a job, and I still didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I liked teaching, I thought, though I had done relatively little, and I started applying for jobs as a professor. Interviews came: Texas, West Virginia, North Carolina. You don't get to pick where the jobs are. I won't say much about the interviews in Texas and West Virginia except to say, please look up what job interviewers are allowed to ask legally, because, hint, are you married is not a legal question, and a sensitive one. My interview at Guilford went well, even if the department chair fell asleep during my job seminar. And I arrived at Guilford in August of 1992, not knowing what the hell I was doing. It was hard. It was scary. The tree, yes, that tree, fell down right after I arrived. Oh no, was it my fault? Was it a harbinger of doom? But I was open to the opportunity. Did things go exactly as I'd planned? Short answer, no. Has it been mostly great? Yes. I've learned so much from my colleagues and my students, an opportunity for which I'm incredibly thankful. At Guilford, I've done so much I never imagined I'd do beyond teaching chemistry, like advising pre-health students, leading study abroad. But those are kind of expected as part of being a professor, don't you think? So here's some of the unexpected opportunities, a very short list. Becoming the WQFS advisor my very first year at Guilford, and I was very happy to put my handprint on Beck's mural last week. Spending Wednesday nights this semester deep in the basement of Frank team teaching a bread making class with Holly Peterson. Setting a giant cardboard effigy of the coronavirus on fire by the lake in late spring of 2021 for a community celebration of what we'd hoped was the end of the pandemic. And a shout out to Wes, Mark Dixon, Tom Guthrie, and Talisha Bowen, among other collaborators on the construction and execution. I was in charge of fire. There are videos. Just a few examples of the amazing experiences I've had and folks I've had the privilege to work with here at Guilford College. And finally, finding the love of my life in the office next door. Okay, really, around the corner in the windowless room in King Hall that Rob Whitnell got stuck in when he came to Guilford for his office 2 years after I did. Getting married in the Manor of Friends on the quad where you'll walk across the stage tomorrow. My Southern Baptist grandmama was perplexed. You just stood there and married yourselves, she said to me later. How did all of this happen? I was open to the opportunities. But one aspect I haven't talked about as much, being scared, thinking I couldn't do it, worried I'd fail, or worse, as a terminal people pleaser, let folks down. Overcoming those fears to say yes, to be willing to struggle and learn and grow, that was the challenging and rewarding part. I invite you now to reflect back on your time at Guilford College and those opportunities you've had and how you've learned and grown when things didn't go exactly as you'd planned. You are open to the opportunity to come to Guilford College to be part of this community, this wonderful, crazy, nurturing, frustrating community. You've worked hard to get the opportunity to walk across the stage tomorrow and shake Jean's hand and celebrate with your friends and family. And you deserve that celebration. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. Congratulations, class of 26.
Good morning, friends. Growing up in the Quaker tradition, I got asked countless times from probably the time I could talk, what are Quakers? That was typically followed up by like, oh, is that like Amish? Depends on who you ask. Attending a Quaker institution, surrounded by students from diverse backgrounds, most of which are not Quaker, I found myself needing to answer that same question more and more frequently. But I also found myself in a community of seekers, faculty, staff, students, and community members who were, consciously or not, attempting to answer that same question with me. That is the experiment of Guilford College. On my very first day, Wes Daniels asked incoming students to consider the following quote: "How does truth prosper among thee?" He encouraged us to spend our time at Guilford cultivating an understanding of, or maybe even finding an answer to that question. So I've searched in, I've grown from, and I've most of all listened to this community. Every laugh, every genuine smile, every struggle works to answer Wes's question. This community loves one another. I see faculty and staff giving their lives to the students. I see students giving their lives to each other and forming a community that is unlike any other. Have you talked to any of your peers who go to big colleges? They don't get this. What is Quakerism? A student asks, and another responds, well, I think it's when they have that moment of silence at the beginning that nobody pays attention to. I challenge that Quakerism is an attempt at seeing love, humanity, and the divine in other people. An education at Guilford should cultivate and grow that sentiment, encourage us to seek it out in all of our relationships, and help us to become stewards of that truth. The very best piece of advice that I ever received at Guilford was a note given to me at sophomore year when I was extraordinarily anxious. Don't be afraid to stand in your own light. That note emphasized learning love, confidence, and respect for oneself alongside this duty to others that we feel, the duty to integrity and compassion for all, noting that these two things must go hand in hand for us to become stewards in our communities. As we leave Guilford and we pause in a moment of silent reflection together, celebration, and a display of love and community, I ask that we join together in silent, open worship, sharing the silence together and standing in our light. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. We're going to take just a little bit of time for silence, so that's what we're doing here with the microphones. If you would like to come up and share a word of blessing or gratitude, this is a great time to do that. We'll make sure that give a little bit of space in between people who share, and then kind of as that settles down a little bit, we'll close out our time. Thank you.
is Gemma. I just want to share that it's been just amazing being here at Guilford for 4 years. I truly want to appreciate Max and Jane Carter. And definitely thank you for Wes, Liz, my professors, Shafiq and Will Pizio, and all the other professors that really helped us through the good, the hard times here at Guilford. And to my fellow graduates, you guys have been amazing, just made everything way better. Been a really great family for me. And Parker and Aprilia, I love you guys as well. I'm just very grateful for this experience, and I'm very happy to see what the other generations have in the future. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael. I'm Beck's dad. Just wanted to say, Sunshine, the Spirit has always lived in you since the day you were born. And I just wanted to tell all of you how grateful I am. So this is a prayer of thanksgiving. Because it's important that you all know that this, I believe the Spirit led back here. And she has always carried the light, and I believe that she is continuing to do that. And I just wanted to share that with you because I felt called by the Spirit to do that. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Amber. I will be graduating. I just wanted to say that 4 years ago, I, a little girl from Boone, North Carolina, chose to just come an hour and a half down the road to Guilford College, and that was the best decision of my life. I am forever grateful for that, and I'm forever grateful for my professors like Ann Glenn for passing me in chemistry and organic chemistry. Sandra Penix as well. I know she's not here, but they really made the best impact on me, and I will forever be grateful, and truly, like, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so thankful for you guys, and so glad that I chose Guilford 4 years ago, and I'll be coming back, and I'm so glad that I made my impact or my footprint here, and thank you guys for everything, and congrats 2026 seniors.
How everybody doing? My name is Trent. I just want to say thank you to everybody, the professors, the advisors, the women I call my mothers, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't probably be here right now. I am a little case, that's what they call me, so so I just appreciate everybody that's been behind me for my wrongs and my rights. So thank you, and love everybody.
I'm Cynthia, and I just am overwhelmed by the curious nature of tears in this moment. I don't know what I was thinking that I wasn't going to cry being here, but that's been my experience at Guilford. About 8 years ago, I took my orientation as an adult student, and I cried the whole walk, and I was trying to have my sunglasses and hide those tears because it was so wonderful to start my journey. Didn't know it was going to take that long, but I cried the first time I took my Peace and Conflicts class, the first one, because I knew, like, it resonated with me. I just think what's in these tears, they feel like an offering in this moment, seeing other people express on what's crystallized in them, the hopes, the grief, the dreams, the challenges, the beauty, all of it. Just so grateful in this moment, grateful to be in a space to share collective tears. Thank you.
My name is Brandon Howard Jr., and I just want to lead everybody in a prayer. So bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to make it this far in our life, Lord. Thank you for allowing us to overcome trials and tribulations. Lord, please forgive us for all our sins, and please allow us to get better, Lord. Lord, thank you for everything that you have done and will continue to do, and Lord, please guide us and guide our footsteps. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Hello, my name is Majida. I am Jana's mother. She's graduating this year. Jana is my only daughter. We are far away from Palestine. When I do the decision to get my daughter to study abroad, far away from our country, it was very, very difficult. She already learned in Quakers school, and we are believing in what the value of Quakerism. And then we met Jane and Max in our country in Ramallah, and it was very difficult for me and for her father to send her abroad, but in the same time it is her future, and it is her to study and to get a better future. We thought for her future, and we sent her. I find this opportunity to thank Max and Jane, and to thank her professors for these 4 years, which is very hard for us to get our daughter away from us. But she got it, and she is qualified now and always in the dean's list, and we are very proud of her, and we are proud of the university. When we came here, we thought we are in a good decision, and we thank everybody. Thank you.
I just really quickly wanted to say thank you to all of you. You know, I got to Guilford as a 16-year-old who really didn't know anything about the world, and you all have taught me so much about the world and about myself, and we're gonna change the world, Joe. We are.
My name is Terrence. I'm a graduating senior as well. But I just wanted to say thank you for everyone, and also Guilford especially, for just taking a chance at me. Because for my just going from the start of going from high school, Guilford was the only place that came to me and gave me a chance to go and pursue my education. So first in that was just being able to receive a chance and someone believing in me, and that was very powerful. And even coming here for my freshman year, of having some of my teammates here believing in me in the field and my capability of doing things, and professors and advisors of knowing that I was enough and I was capable to do things, and showing me that I was actually worth something. So, and people also just like Brian has been there for me for a lot, and everything is just very grateful and very have a lot of gratitude for what Guilford has given me and shown me, and just thank you for giving me the chance of, I guess, being me and the opportunity to show me what I have and what I'm worth. Just thank you.
Hello, I am also graduating tomorrow, and I'm not sure if you're here right now because I have very terrible vision in dim light. But I'd like to say I think I'm most thankful for my time at Guilford, especially my professors, particularly Heather Hayton and Cynthia Neerman over in the English department. If you've ever had classes with them, they're very great, and they were very welcoming and accepting and very willing to help me with anything I might ever need. And if it's okay, I'd like to sing a little portion of a song that I originally learned in elementary school, and it kind of just stuck with me throughout the years because it always felt like a very beautiful goodbye. I'm not sure why we learned it, but I'm kind of glad we did. Pardon, though I'm not much of a singer. I am unfortunately not in the music department. Shalom Havarim, Shalom Havarim, Shalom, Shalom. Lehitrayot, Lehitrayot, Shalom, Shalom. Goodbye, my friends, be safe, my friends, have peace, till we meet again, have peace, have peace.
I got to move this so I can speak to the person that is my person. I hope, I'm a proud aunt, so I'm so glad to be here for my person, Ella, and all of you. And, you know, sitting here, I just really hope that you can, all the graduates I'm talking to, but everybody else too, that you can take the authenticity and vulnerability that we've seen here and take that out into the world, because the world really needs that, and you all are going to change the world. So thank you. We need it. That's all.
Thank you, friends, and thank you for sharing during this time of open worship. I hope that you'll continue to share over lunch. One of my favorite things to do is to announce that there's lunch afterwards. I hope that you'll continue to share your gratitudes and stories with each other and maybe meet someone new on your way out. I'm just really struck by the beautiful constellation of students we have here, and both on stage and out in the crowd. So let's give them another round of applause. Now, if you wouldn't mind standing for a closing blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's face turn toward you and give you peace in the coming days and years. Blessings, friends. Amen. We'll see you at lunch. Thanks.